Hello, beautiful souls. I hope everyone had a great day today. My day was indeed calm and it was indeed peaceful. And as I'm going off to bed, my mind was just racing calmly, just about my own life's journey on this planet. I was thinking about younger me, and I was wondering if I'm making younger me proud of me. And I was thinking of older me and wondering if older me becomes who I want her to be right now, and if she would be proud of me. And I started thinking about just the need to trust the process, to really just trust the process that we're on without resistance, without fighting. I was looking back on this idea of all of these past relationships that I've been in. And as I'm trying to navigate my own relationships in this moment of what I want and what I don't want, and trying to figure out if a man I've been dating is what I do desire or I don't desire, I was reminded of all of the men in my past. And I was reminded of all of the men who I thought was the one. And I'll be honest, there were so many. And the men who I knew weren't the one. And as I look at my life at 29 and I look at all these men from the past who I thought were the one, who weren't the one for this moment, I realized that they were the one for the past moments. And that there is no one forever, because we are our own one forever. We came into this world and we're going to leave this world. And we are the only one on our whole life journey that has been the one that has always stuck by us. But I recognize that every person that we date, every friend that we have, every romantic encounter, every lover, is the one for that moment, because they lead to the next moment. And I think back on, this idea of past partners and me thinking they were the one, and that belief that I had, that sole belief that I thought that this was it, that this was the person that I was going to walk down the aisle with in a white wedding dress. I needed that belief in that moment. I needed that belief to keep me continuing in that relationship. Because without that belief for my own journey, I couldn't have gone forward. So as I look back as my 29-year-old self, looking back at those past versions of myself, I am continually talking to those past versions of myself, continuing to guide those past versions of myself, telling them that they will get through this or they won't get through this. And I'm reminding myself that that voice that I heard at 18, 19, 21 years old, telling my past version of myself that they need to be in this relationship, is this present version of myself right now, guiding that past version of myself to stay in that relationship, to not leave that relationship, because I recognize that I needed those past relationships to get where I am today. And I'll give you an example of this. I have a relationship where I was engaged to a man. And while I was with him, he was struggling with drugs. And I cried and I tried so many times to leave that relationship. And I couldn't leave. Eventually I left. But, there was all these ups and downs of him relapsing and sober and relapsing and sober and relapsing and sober. And you know, he still calls me to this day. He actually called me and he's in jail, and I'm choosing not to pick up the phone now. But as I'm choosing right now not to pick up the phone for him as he calls me, I'm looking back on that relationship and recognizing that I needed that relationship. I needed that relationship in that moment because that relationship helped to heal me from my childhood. It helped to heal me from wounds that I felt towards my mother and wounds that I felt towards my father. That then leads me to this present version of myself. And if I would have chosen to walk away from that relationship, or if I chosen to not go into that relationship, I would not be where I am today. So we, as our current versions of ourselves, are the spirit guide. We are the spirit guide to our past versions. We are that angel in this present moment that we needed as a kid. Just like our future version of us is guiding us. It's guiding us in every single dynamic. It's guiding us in our romantic relationships. It's guiding us in our financial decisions. It's guiding us in our health. And there's these little spirit guides that are echoing to us who we need to be today, to become who we are going to be tomorrow, and to heal ourselves from who we were yesterday. So with all this being said, trust the process, because sometimes you have to go through the pain. Sometimes you have to go through the contrast. And it doesn't mean that you're always going to be there. So if you're in a relationship right now and you're wondering, should I be in this or should I not be in this? Let go. Let go and know that you are guided. You are guided by your future version, and when it's time to leave, you will leave. And if you're not supposed to leave, then you won't leave. But we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry because we're always guided, not just by our future losses, but also by the past versions of us that tell us what we wanted when we were 8, when we were 5, when we were 10. Continue to talk to the past versions of yourself to guide them. And continue to seek answers from your future version of yourself about where you're going next. Because the only people who you should really care what they think of you is your younger version, the 8-year-old version of you, and the older version of you, the 80-year-old version of you. Those are the only people that you should care if you are making proud. So trust your path. Trust the path that you are on. And don't worry, because you are always guided. Trust the process. Good night, guys. Hope that helps.